Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Belinda here and this is Visualized NZ. I hope you've all had a fantastic weekend. I've had a pretty good one and we're back for Monday with the Deal It Up challenge. Out of the 5 sets of prompts, I'm going with 3 today. So let's grab our first set and see what we're going to be doing. Very warm welcome to you if this is your first time seeing the Deal It Up challenge. It's very simple. I just pull a set of random prompts and then we make something to those prompts. So I hope you join in. It's just a great way to kickstart your week, get your brain thinking creatively, give you kind of like a little warm-up exercise for the week that's creative. So we're going to be using paint today. So paint could be watercolor, could be acrylic, could be finger paint, could be face paint, whatever paint you've got. If you don't have paint, then just substitute something like ink or what have you. But I'm sure most of us have some form of paint, poster paint, kids paint, whatever you've got, whatever you can find is good. So our second prompt from this gigantic stack of cards is, where shall we pick from? Let's go right at the back here. And you probably can't read that, but something blue. So it's funny that the word paint is written in blue. So far they're working well together. Okay, and the final one I'm going to pull will be the item that we're making. So I wonder what it's going to be this week. Last week we did a rectangle pocket. So this week, let's see, and sorry, I may be actually shuffling off screen there. I was getting a bit too comfy and relaxed in my chair. Okay, let's see. Let's go towards the front this time. Maybe the top one. Why not? Oh, we're making a journal page. Awesome. This one hasn't come up very often. In fact, may have only come up once the entire time I've been doing this. So we're using paint, we're including something blue, and we're making a journal page. So first off, we need a base for the journal page. And you can use a blank bit of photocopy paper, you can use a bit of coffee dyed paper, you could use scrapbook paper, book pages, whatever you like. I think I'm going to keep it relatively simple. I think. But my brain's busy going, so sorry, I may not talk because I can't talk and think at the same time apparently. Actually, what I might do is something different. I've never made a journal page out of this packing paper, and I love this packing paper. I'm getting low on it actually. I've only got 3 segments left. That's kind of sad. But I'm going to use one of them. It comes with these great perforations. So good use. Normally I back ephemera and things with this paper, but why not use it as a journal page? Now it's obviously a little bit wide, so I'm going to grab out another journal page that I've got here and just do a little kind of measure. I don't want it quite as wide as this page, just because I have a feeling it could go in the middle of a signature, and therefore it won't push out if I've made it just that little bit narrower. It's also shorter, and I don't mind that. I like including different sizes. Now, do I want to have that as a flip or a pocket? I think I do, but first off I'm going to fold in this edge and glue that down, and I think I'll turn it into a pocket. But to strengthen the edge of it so it doesn't tear, we're going to glue it down and then put a little thumb notch in it as well. Oops, running out of glue stick here. I have grabbed down a new one, so it'll be alright. We won't run out of glue entirely. Just was looking at my stash of glue sticks, and I pulled out one, and that leaves me 3 in reserve, and it's like, oh, that's getting uncomfortably low. Right, so yes, so that's folded okay. And let's fold this side in. Doesn't have to be the same width, it can be slightly shorter. It is important though, because I want this to be able to go in the middle of a signature, that with the pocket I take it in far enough so it's not going to be trimmed off if I need to trim down pages. I mean, not the worst thing in the world, it could just be re-glued, but you know, this is a fold, it's not glued, so I'd like to retain the ability to have it folded. Now, do I dare punch this so soon? I'm going to be brave, I'm going to be daring, probably a bit silly, but it worked well enough. Would have been better if I'd waited. It's a little bit munched, but it did actually cut relatively cleanly. Relatively. That's what you get for not waiting. But I'm on a mission. I'm an inker, so I'm going to ink this edge, because once it's glued down, it's just going to be a little bit harder to do. And I'm busy thinking about paint. Now, I don't have a lot of paint around me. I have some white paint. What else do I have? Not a lot apparently. Hang on, I'll just check my drawer. I have some green, I believe this is. Yep, green on the lid. So and I have this orange. So I haven't got a lot of options around me. I'm not going to pause the camera and go grab something else. I'm thinking white actually. I think green, this is a beautiful green, but it's quite vibrant. Yeah, I don't think it's going to work for me for this. The orange is quite cool. It's a little bit translucent. Maybe. That's just a maybe. I am tending towards the white at the moment. And I need a brush. And I'm sorry, there's only one way to grab it, and that's by reaching under the camera. So I do apologise. But they're right at the top far corner of my desk. This brush is getting a bit past its used by date, I think. It obviously hasn't been cleaned that well. Right, I need a drop paper. I've just got this scrap. Can I work with that? I think I can make that work. It's not ideal, but we can do something there. Right, so I'm going to start with my pocket first. And put some paint down. So I'm just using white. This would be a good place. You could use blue paint, and that would automatically incorporate the something blue. I just don't happen to have blue paint to hand. So white it is. So this is always a bit of quite a challenge for me, because I'm making, you know, pull the prompts and straight into making. So I haven't had any time to prepare, to grab any supplies, or to make sure I've got everything I need. So it can be quite challenging for me, but I enjoy that. And I enjoy that, you know, it just shows you just use what you've got around you and make do. Substitute if you need to, you know, if you don't have something to hand, what else have you got that would fit the bill? And just have fun. And I want here to get some of that texture of the crinkled paper in there. I don't want to like cover it all just matte and white. Just want to, so I'm using dry brush. Once I've got those bits of paint down, dry brush just to catch those crinkles and creases. A little bit more. Just don't want too much on my brush. just really quite randomly painted up. I love that. Okay, so I could leave it at that, and that could be our paint inclusion. I'm just having a look. Do I want to add it anywhere else? I am thinking yes. What I might do is create a little border around, just a very loose border around the page. And the benefit of the white is it does allow for writing over top because it's nice and light. And I'm not going for neat, I'm not going for even or solid, I'm going for interest and texture. That's what I'm going for. So I hope you're all set up for having a fantastic week this week. We are in spring now, which is super exciting. I absolutely adore spring, my favourite time of year. We are supposed to have a few colder days, but by and large we've got some really lovely days coming, which is just awesome. So I'm hoping I can get out and make the most of that. I'm going to do a border around, I think, each page. Let's move my cards out the way. And I'm just picking up paint from out of the cap. From the paint's actually in a cream bottle, so I'm just using what's in the lid. That helps me control a little bit how much I'm getting on my brush, rather than dipping it straight into the bottle. So you can see I'm not being careful at all. Oops, I keep running into things. It's difficult to move it around on my desk. I've got quite a small desk. It's certainly adequate for most things, but just, you know, if I've got a lot of stuff around me, I keep running into things, and that can be a little frustrating. One day, hopefully soon, I'll be able to move back into my studio, and there's a 6-meter trestle table in there, and that would be just heaven after being so restricted on this desk. But this desk is fantastic, don't get me wrong, I'm so grateful for it. Okay, we're getting some white paint transfer from my drop sheet because I'm using such a small bit of paper, and now for my finger. I'm not worried about random splotches. I think it just adds to it. Because we're going for not so much a grungy, because this is light, but a textured, interesting look is what I'm going for. But you do whatever style you like. You don't have to do the same style. You interpret the prompts your way, not my way. Of course, if you want to do what I'm doing, that's great as well. No problem whatsoever. And if you would like to share what you do from the Deal It Up challenge, please tag me. I'd love to see what you've done. So you can tag VisualizedNZ on Instagram, or you can pop along to my Facebook group Visual Vibes and post a photo in there. Absolutely love to see what you do, and it's really gratifying when I see people playing along, because it's like, yeah, it's nice to know people are watching and to being inspired and doing projects here and there, even if it's not my project, just that you're being creative and having some fun in your crafting time. So one more to do. So I hope you're hanging in there. Just doing very simple. Now I don't need to do all the way across because our pocket's going to close up, so that's enough there. And that should be enough there. Okay. I think I'm finished with the paint. I think. So we'll pop that aside for now. We've got some random splodges here and there, little specks, and maybe I will go in and just add some splatter. That could be quite fun. But for now, I am going to call that done. Now I'm not going to glue this down yet because I want to make sure the glue's dry. So I'm going to think about something blue. How am I going to incorporate something blue into this? That is a very good question. I've got these flowers from Artsology, and I know there are some blue ones. Have I used them all is the question. Well, there's a blue bird there. Just keep it out just in case. Some of these printed wrong because my printer, the cyan, clogged at some point, so some aren't. Some haven't got the blue on when that's actually supposed to. Oops, I've got more paint. I think it's dry though. That's got some blue flowers in it, but I'm looking for something sort of more definitely blue. There's some blue flowers there. It's a bit more. I'm trying to think whether I've got a blue bird. I'm not sure that I do. Apart from that little bird there. There's some blue flowers. Get that one out. Oops, they're getting caught up on each other. See, that's that same one where the cyan didn't work. You see the difference? But I quite like the antique-y look that it's got without the cyan, so I kept them because, you know, it's paper and ink. Why not keep them and use them? They're just not how they should have been, is all. And I make sure to say that in the videos in case people think that, you know, it's not a great kit because, you know, the colour's off. But that's my printer's fault, not the kit's fault. Okay, I'm going to keep those out. I'm not sure that they're entirely blue enough for me. There's bits of blue, but yeah. So what else have I got that I could use? Just having a scan around me. I wonder if I've got any die cuts or things. This is just a random box of bits and pieces. Some which I've done, some which are sent to me. That's blue. There's a starry Christmas tree here that's blue, but we're not going for Christmas. Not today. Just having a quick flick through, looking for something blue. A little label of something. There's a painted blue envelope, which is cute. That was sent to me in Happy Mail. I'll keep it out just in case. No, nothing else in there. I'm kind of running out of inspiration of things that are around me. So while I think a bit more, I'm going to glue this pocket down because our paint should be dry now. It's going to be a nice big side pocket there. Give it a good press, make sure it sticks down properly. Oh, that paint on my fingers is so distracting. Okay, so far we have a journal page. So imagine it in your journal, like so. Yeah, and then on the other half of the signature we've got this lovely big pocket, and then that. I think that's rather fun. You could add some ink. I probably will ink this because I've inked the edge of this pocket. So I'm still thinking. So while I'm still thinking, I'm going to actually do that. Sorry if you find inking boring, but part of the process, and it's just giving me that time to think on what I want to do next. and whether there's anything else blue around me that I could grab from and use. I wonder if I've got any blue lace or ribbon to hand in my little go-to box. Maybe I'll have a look at that. Oops, there's that wee die cut running away. So you could use anything for your blue element. Get creative, use what you've got, what you like. Actually, if I had a blue seal made up, I could pop that on. That would be kind of cool, but I don't have any made, so not in blue. Ah, or do I? I do actually. I completely forgot. All my first ones that I made, because I only recently got my wax seal supplies, all the first ones I made were all metallic, sort of dull gold, I guess. But then my second play, I added blue in. So yes, I have got blue, but I can't reach them, so that's going to rule that out. Right, I like the envelope. We could actually tuck it in here. Oh, yeah, how about that? And we can pop some paper in there. We could pop some writing paper, bit of, not sure if I want to use a journal page. I know. I recently bought up a whole heap of diaries that were on sale. I started buying them when they were $2 each, and then it got down to, like, this one was 7 cents each as time went on. So by the time they got down to 7 cents, there wasn't a lot of option left. But how about this cool notes page with the little, like, dot grid pattern on it? It's quite light, so you might not be able to see the pattern on that. I'm going to trim that down and pop that into the envelope. I'd probably prefer it if it was coffee dyed, but it's not, so we're just going to go with white. And it's a perfect width to go in there. So I'm just going to give it, fold it loosely into thirds, like so. Pop it in this wee envelope. And I can't remember who sent it to me, I'm sorry. Oh, whoops. Okay, it needs to be a little bit shallower. Didn't quite fit properly. I didn't allow for the stitching. It's all sewn. Beautiful. It's really lovely. And it's even sewed with blue thread, which I only just noticed. Now, it has got flaps here. I'm going to glue those down, I think. Don't think we need the flaps open. You could use them as tuck spots, or just put a bit of glue in the corner and then use it as a little tuck. But I'm just going to glue them down like so. It's got this cute little cluster on the top there. So sweet. So whoever sent this to me, thank you. I do know it was quite a long time ago. So we'll tuck that in there. Awesome. So we have something blue, but, you know, we want something else. We need to decorate up this little side pocket. So I think maybe this flower. Yep, it's bigger, so that alone is making it more favourable in my eyes. I think I want some book page. If you're a regular on my channel, you know that I often incorporate book page. I just love it. Okay, I like this side better because this side has some talking about annihilation and war and such like, and guns, whereas this side talks about Johnny Appleseed, a writer, a saint. So it kind of gives me a better feel all over. Okay, that, I think I'll give it a bit of ink. In case I didn't say, I use Vintage Photo, as so many of us do use. It's my go-to. And I am choosing to use tacky glue to put these pieces down, just in case, because of the texture of the packing paper and the paint. I just don't want anything to come adrift. So I'd prefer to just go in with the stronger glue rather than glue stick. Oops, I think I'll take that out so I'm not trying to work over top of the button. Okay, and a bit of ink around this as well. Just gives it a nice little frame out. Double check. Yep. So my collaboration video for Be Summer Inspired, that was hosted, or is being hosted, by Rachel Bella Crafts, that went up on Friday night. So I had quite a fun weekend, as I had a swell of subscribers. So if you are one of those, I thank you so much. I hope you continue to enjoy what I bring you, however often you want to or can watch. That's awesome. And just responding to comments and stuff, it was just a really wonderful, uplifting time. Just it's always nice to get good feedback, isn't it? So it was very encouraging to me as a creative to get that feedback, and just really enjoyed it, and still enjoying it. Right, a label. I'm not sure what style of label. Maybe we'll find a home for our die cut as well. That could be quite nice. So I've got a variety of different labels in here from different makers. I'm not sure what shape or size I'm after. We've got blue labels, but I don't want to go like everything blue. That would be too matchy, I think. Let's just grab out one and try for size. I actually kind of like that. Let's go with that one. That was easy. Easier than I anticipated. And I am going to use that die cut because I think that actually looks quite sweet. And it's blue, so why not? It brings that blue up from the flower. Sometimes I think we get locked into a trap with journal pages. We use digitals, we use scrapbook paper, we use recycled paper like graph paper, packing paper, but then don't do too much with it. So it's really good to sort of start thinking outside the square, and it's like, well, how can you decorate it up and make it interesting on its own? And so hopefully this gives you a few ideas. Just kickstart some thinking of how you can treat your journal pages just that little bit differently. And of course it depends on the theme of journal that you might be making. or it might be a journal page in your own journal, whether it's an art journal page or a daily journal or a prompted journal, you know, where you work into like a junk journal prompt list or something. So you could interpret that this way. You could do your, say for example, junk journal page, you could do it, just choose a spread and do a spread, and that might be how you interpret this prompt. Pop that out there, I think. So these labels were from 9 of Crones on Etsy. Quite fun little labels, and really nice to cut out because they're all rectangles, so they line up and you can just like trim them up nice and easy. There's quite a few though, so it still takes some time. So we have a cute pocket there with an envelope with some writing paper in it, and I do want to ink this up, I think, just so it matches everything else. Envelope made out of old book page. So I'm very proud of myself. I have had this envelope hoarded for probably, a good 3 years at least, probably longer. So I'm proud. I'm actually finding a home for it, which is good because, you know, it's not doing much good just sitting in my bin, never seeing the light of day, or very rarely seeing the light of day, and then being hidden away again. And can I ink that top edge? Can we manage that? Let's give it a go. Shouldn't be too bad. Just a little light rub. There we go. That should do it. A little bit of note paper. Super sweet. Now, do I want that way? No, I want it the other way. Okay, so I think that's all I'm going to do for my journal page. I think I've added just a little bit of interest. It's a perfect writing surface. Of course, when it goes into a journal, it might have a pocket or a belly band or a fabric flip or whatever added to it, or it could be left just as an interesting page in its own right with that little bit of paint around it. It's, you know, it is packing paper, so where it's creased and that tends to fold a little bit, but once it's in a journal, it'll be absolutely fine. So again, I'll just pretend that's in a journal there. We flick over our pages, ding, 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 like so. Well, there we go, my friends. That is my take on our prompts for the Deal It Up Challenge this week. So we have journal page, we have paint, and then we have something blue. Okay, don't forget that if you do something in this challenge and you'd like to share it with me, I would love to see it. Have fun, take it wherever you like, be inspired, have a fantastic week, and I hope to see you again soon. Thanks for joining me today. Bye for now.